So let's maybe start with the arm here. I'm just going to grab this piece and we'll just go into isolation mode, Alt Q, and this is probably the most complex piece that we have left, so let's just do it and get it out of the way. Again, this one's turbo smooth, so let's just start by turning off our isoline display here for a second, and I don't think we need 2 iterations on it, so let's just drop it down to 1. And I think that should be fine, so let's just convert this to poly. And we can maybe do some quick optimization here. Let's just go to edge, and we have all these edges running around this circle part here, so let's just maybe take some of them out. Let's maybe just grab a few here. Again, we don't want to take too many out, so I'm just going to do the 2 center ones, and we'll loop those. And I'm just going to go around and do that on all 4 of these circle pieces. So just control click 2 more on this side, loop down to the next part, grab 2 more, and just control click 2 more on this side. All right, loop those. And we'll just control backspace them out. And that'll get rid of about 300 edges or so. I'm not really going to do much with the middle. I think we're going to need most of that resolution running this way at least. Let's see if we can maybe fix up the top here on the back. So we'll just do the same thing. I'm just going to grab a couple. So maybe the center 3 loops. Remove those, control backspace. I think we're going to need all this detail in here to hold the corner, so we'll leave that alone. Let's move down here to the back, and we might be able to get rid of a few of these guys. So let's maybe take out the 3 across the center here on each side. So control click those guys, and let's move up to the top, and we'll do the same thing on this piece. Same ones, just the 3 center ones, and same on this side. Okay, so with those 13 selected, just do a loop on them. And I think that should be fine, so let's just control backspace those out. Just take a look, make sure your shape didn't change too much. I think we're okay. So let's look at the centerpiece here. And I don't want to screw this up too bad, so I'm not going to take out very many. Let's maybe just remove a couple. So let's maybe take out both these ones on either side of center, and we'll do that down here as well. We might be able to get rid of these ones, but I think I want to leave them just so we don't have a problem in the corners here. So we'll just grab these 4 here, loop those, and just remove them. Okay, so that should be good to start. So let's just throw the unwrap on. And this is fairly complex, this shape, so we're going to have to hack it up pretty good. So let's just turn off our map seams to start. We'll drop back into edge here, and let's maybe start by just chopping off these pieces that are sticking out. So I'm just going to zoom in here on the back at the top where our hole is, and I'm just going to cut the inside of this out. So let's just grab maybe the corner loop right there, loop it around, and we'll convert that to a seam. Do the same thing on the outside of the top. Again, I'm just taking the center corner edge, loop, convert to seam, and let's go down to the bottom here. And now we have some weird topology here, so I'm going to try to hide the seams as best I can. They're going to be fairly noticeable down here, but I'm going to cut it right in the crack on the center edge on either side. So we'll loop that. It's not going to follow all the way around because of the corner point here. So we'll just go around and control click 1 edge on each loop. Okay, loop those. It's a little hard to see here, so I'll zoom out. Okay, so just go all the way around and then convert it to a seam. And let's maybe do the same thing up at this end. And we don't have any end faces here, so we're just going to cut it off right in the crack again. So just grab an edge there, control click the next one on the bottom, and one in the crack on this side. And loop. Okay, convert to a seam. And we're going to have to figure out where we want to split it. So let's maybe just do it. We could do it right in the center here. Let's maybe do it on the corner instead. So I'm just going to go to point-to-point seam here. And I'm just going to start on the seam up here, right on the corner. Follow it down and just connect it to the seam down here. And then right click. And I'm even right for that corner point right there. Okay. And then we're going to need one on the inside of these hole here too. So let's just connect these up. All right, just going to zoom in here. We want to make sure our verts touch again, our seams touch, so we'll just connect these 2 verts up with point to point. Okay. And let's figure out what we want to do with the round pieces here. And I think I'm going to cut them up into probably 3 pieces each. So let's just turn off point to point here. I'm just going to go back to edge, and I'm going to start on the inside one of the holes here, and just grab a corner edge again on the inside and the outside, holding control, and we'll loop that. Okay, and we'll do the same thing on each one. So I'm just going to go over here, control click one here, here, loop, and we'll do the same thing up here. So outside corner, inside corner on both sides. And loop. Alright, make sure you get all 4 and then convert those to seams as well. And I'm going to use a cylindrical map on the inside here, so we're going to need to split it somewhere. And we have those extra pieces that sit inside these holes, so you can pretty much do it anywhere. You're not going to see it. I think I might just do it right on the center here. So I'm going to go back to point, just zoom in. And we'll just maybe cut it from the seam right here over to the inside edge and right click. Alright, so we'll cut there, and we'll do the same thing on this side. Right, cut it across. And the same thing down here. Let's just maybe do this one at the back. So seam to inside edge. Hopefully you can see this okay with the weird display. Just gonna make sure I actually connected those up all the way. It's hard to tell. That looks good, so let's go to the other side. Do the same thing. Okay. Like that, so take care of the inside and the outside of those. We're gonna have to split the main body of it as well. Let's maybe just do something with the center pieces here first. So we'll turn off point to point, and let's just maybe do it the same way we did the end pieces. So I'm just gonna start right in the seam here on the crack, and just control click an edge on each side, loop it, and we'll just follow it around. Alright, so control click one over here on this side and one at the back, loop. Same thing over here, grab this one on this side, and control click one on this side. Okay, and just make sure they go all the way around and then convert them to seams, and we'll do the same thing up at the top here. And if you want to, you can use point to point for this, so whatever's easier, doesn't really matter. All right, 2 more, grab one on this side, one on the inside, loop. And you can see I actually missed the loop here, so I'm just going to undo that. Control Z, and I got the wrong one, so I'm just going to make sure I grab this one instead, and loop. You can always hit F4 and turn off your edges, just make sure it follows the same edge loop all the way around. That looks good, so we'll just convert that to a seam, and I'll just repeat the process one more time up here. So control click these ones, and that one, and this guy over here. All right, loop it, just check it quickly. Looks good. Convert them. We're going to need to split these lengthwise as well, so let's maybe hide it on the inside of the crack here. You could do it on the corner again, or you could just do it on the center point, which I think I might do. So I'm just going to go to point seam, try to zoom in here. And just start on the seam there and just follow it down the center edge loop. And then connect it up with the bottom one and right click. All right. Down the center, and we'll repeat the process over here on this side. So just find the center loop and just click on the verts all the way down until you get to where you started down here. And right click. So these will just unfold, and they should be pretty easy to unfold. Now the only problem we have left is just figuring out how we're going to do these ones. And I'm going to use a cylindrical map, I think, but we're going to need a split somewhere, and I'm going to try to figure out where's the best place to do it. I think what I might do is start down here underneath. I'm going to zoom in on that corner point again that we were talking about earlier. And I think I might just connect it up right there. So I'm going to start right here and just come across and stop on that center point. Okay. I'll go around to this side and just do the same thing. And we'll do the same thing down here. And you can put it in a different spot if you want. You could even cut it right across underneath. The only reason I'm putting it in here is because we're going to have a pretty big hole in this anyway, so we'll have shorter seams running across here to here rather than all the way across the width of it. But that'll be up to you. All right, connect those ones up, and the last one's over here. Connect those up. And I think we got pretty much everything we need. One thing I did forget to do though was split this one lengthwise. We have this one cut on this side, so let's just go around and cut the same type of seam on this piece. So again, I'm going to start right on the point and just go along to the outside. So basically what we're going to do is we're just going to unfold these pieces. The center one's the same way. The end piece, we'll use a cylindrical map around the two circular parts, planar maps on all four ends, and then cylindrical maps on the inside as well. And I think that should work. We're definitely going to have some noticeable seams, but that's okay. We'll clean that up later again. So let's just go to face here and we'll see if this works. So let's just start on the end here. Grab polygon, expand your selection, and I think for this I'm just going to use a pelt. So let's open up pelt map. Start pelt and then commit, and we'll just work our way down. So I'm going to start with the cylinder piece here and just grab that, expand the selection, just make sure it actually selects the whole cylindrical part. If it's grabbing stuff down here or up here, just go in and just make sure your seams are actually matched up again. And we'll just do a cylindrical map here. Okay, and you can see the gizmo didn't line up correctly, so let's just try the align options. Alright, so I'm going to click on the x-axis, and it looks like it fits pretty good, so we'll just turn that off. And let's do the inside of the hole. Expand it, cylindrical map it, turn it off, same with this side. And then we'll just do the little end caps. So just grab a face there, expand your selection, planar map it. Same with this side. And you can use the quick planar map option if you want to, it doesn't matter. And then we'll just move down to the end here and start working on the center pieces. So let's grab this side, expand our selection, and we'll just do a pelt on this. All right, pull it out. Same with this guy, pelt it, stretch it out, and then we'll do this circle piece. Same deal here, cylindrical map it, align it on the x-axis, and then turn it off. And then the inside of the holes, cylindrical, and cylindrical on this side. And then just make sure you get the end caps here, so just expand that, planar map it, and do the same on this side. And then we'll just grab the next piece, expand it, pelt this one. We'll planar map the top. All right, and then on the inside, I'm just going to use another pelt here. So we'll expand the selection, make sure it gets all four sides, and just pull it out with pelt. And commit. Okay, so let's throw our checker pattern on here quickly. So you can see what we're doing. It's going to look like a total mess right now, but that's okay. Let's also turn off our background again, and I'm going to turn on sync to element here, and I'm on polygon. And we'll see if we can get this to kind of flatten out properly. It's going to be a little tricky probably on some of the pieces, but we'll see how it goes. So let's just start pulling our pieces out here. And I'm just going to kind of work one into the other. So I'm just going to grab this piece, and you can see that's actually highlighted over here. So we'll just pull this over this way. That's one of the centers. That's the other side. That's the other end. Same with that. That's the center. It's this side. That goes on that side as well. That's on that end. This end. And I'm just kind of putting them just in groups. The pieces for each end and then the centers. All right, that goes over there as well. And these guys come down here. All right, so basically what I have is one end, the other end, and then the two center pieces. All right, and don't worry about, getting it sorted out perfectly right now. We're going to move stuff around in a second when we relax this. So I'm just putting in some kind of logical order so I can tell what I'm doing better. And we'll just open up the relax tool, put our mount up, our iterations up, change it to face angles again. And we did use some cylindrical maps on this, so we're probably going to have some broken verts. So we'll just worry about that as we go along here. So I'm just going to start with the piece up here on the back, and we'll just relax this down. All right, let's maybe rotate it so it's vertical. Okay, relax it a couple times. You can always zoom in so you can see what's going on. And most of this should, I think, unfold fairly easily. Okay, so I have both the little cap pieces. We'll just grab both of them, relax them down. I'm just going to push them over here. And then we have one of the more complex pieces here. So let's just zoom in and check for broken verts. And we do have some, as you can see. So let's zoom in here. Go back to vertex, turn off sync to element, and we're going to need to weld this guy up. So just hit the weld button or right click and weld selected again. And again, you just want to have your green seam around the outside of the shape. Okay, so weld them up. Come down here, we'll just do the same thing. So we need to do that one, and this one. Weld them. Take a quick look. You can see this chunk of faces right here actually goes in this hole over here. So what I might do is just break that off. So I'm going to go to polygon. Make sure you don't have element turned on. And we'll just grab these two faces. Control click these two up here and right click and break them. And then we'll zoom in over here and go to edge, grab these edges here and just hold Alt and deselect those ones. So we just have the outline selected, right click and we'll stitch selected just to put it back in its place. And we'll do the same thing up here. All right, so grab those, deselect these and stitch. All right, so let's see if we can get this to flatten out. We might have a problem with it, but we'll see. So I'm just going to start relaxing it down. And we have these little thin strips on both sides, and it's probably going to start to twist up. As you can see, it's already doing it. So let's try using edge angles here for a second instead, and we'll see if we can get it to kind of straighten out. I'm just going to get it fairly close, and then just stop this, and we'll go back to face and see if we can get it to go the rest of the way. And it looks like we're probably going to have to break it up a little bit more, so let's just rotate this. I'm going to try this one more time on edge angles. Okay, there it goes. And we'll go back to face, just do it again. And like I said with the other pieces, they don't have to be absolutely perfectly straight. I'm usually a little too anal, I think, when I do it, and I like everything to be perfect, so I waste a lot of time trying to get everything perfectly straight, but you don't have to necessarily do that. If it's not, majorly bent, you're probably not really going to notice it on your model. All right, so I've just got it pretty much straightened out here. I'm just going to push it over with these pieces, and we'll just keep moving. So we have the inside of the holes here. Let's check for broken verts, and we have some over here, so let's go back to vertex, turn off by element, grab these two, and weld. And we'll do these ones. Weld them up. Go back to face, turn on by element, grab the piece. I'm going to use the non-uniform scale here, the bottom one, and just squash this down a little bit. Do the same thing with the other side, just squash it down. And let's see if we can actually relax this a little bit as well. Let me try this one. All right, that's probably good for these, so let's just move them together, grab both. I'm going to rotate them just 9 degrees and just push them over here for now. I'm not sure how I want to lay these out, so I'm just going to leave them there, and we'll just keep moving, and we'll start working on these center strut pieces here. So let's just relax it. And again, I'm just going to kind of straighten everything out and relax them down. And do the bottom one. All right, just take a quick look. We shouldn't have any broken verts on these pieces, I don't think. Doesn't look like it, so let's just grab both pieces and just push them over with the rest. And we'll just keep working our way down to the next side here at the top. So we'll grab our 2 outer pieces, relax them quickly. We're actually down here, make sure we're looking in the right spot. And just push them over for now, and we'll do the inside the same way. So just zoom in, go to vertex, check for broken verts. Again, we have these 2 right here. So just weld them like we did on the other one, and we'll do the same thing on the next one down here. Okay, and back to element, turn on face, and we'll just squash them down a bit. And do the same thing with the next one. Squash that down. And we'll just relax. And like I mentioned earlier, we have those cap pieces that actually sit inside these holes. So, if this is a little bit distorted, you're never going to see it. So if you can't get it perfectly straight, don't worry about it. It's probably not worth the time. So we'll just get it as straight as we can, rotate them. And again, if you don't have the rotate options, you can just use rotate up here and turn on your angle snaps, and that'll work as well. All right, shove them over there with the other mapped ones, and we'll just move up to the top here. Let's just do this piece while we're at it. All right, relax it a couple times, and let's rotate that one, and stick it up there. And we have the inside of the hole here, and this might not turn out perfectly straight, we'll see. All right, let's try edge angles on this one, and face angles. And you can always use the straighten selection option again if you want to make sure it's perfect. That's probably fine, so we'll just rotate that and stick it over here and move on to the next piece. So relax that down, let's start rotate it as well. And shove it over here, and then we'll just do the last cylindrical piece. And we're probably gonna have a similar problem as we did with the first one. Looks like it. So let's go back to face angles, or edge angles, sorry, and we'll try that instead. And just let it pull itself out a bit, and then just stop it somewhere and switch back to face and try that. And if you do run into a problem where it's just spinning around and twisting up, just grab some polygon selections and just break it up into maybe 2 or 3 smaller chunks, relax those, and then stitch it back together. I'm just going to rotate it and try that again. And sometimes just rotating it a little bit will also help the relax along. And you can see we got a problem over here. Let's zoom in. Broken verts again due to the cylindrical map. So let's just go back to vertex, turn off by element, and I'm just going to select target weld here. Again, if you don't have these options, just right click and it's in there. Just select target weld. And we'll just put this back together quickly. So I'm just going to start down here, weld these up. And let's figure out where this goes. All right, that goes over here. So I'm going to weld it to the blue vert and pull this out. And this one out. And we'll zoom in here. And these 3 need to go together, so just drag and drop them when that white crosshair appears. Okay, just straighten everything out a bit. And again, you just want to be careful to only have the green around the outside. All right, so this one goes over here. This goes right where it is. That one needs to come out, and this one needs to go over here. And these guys need to go together again. So just all 3 of them. And then we have this one up here that needs to be welded. Okay, just check the other end. That looks good. So let's try to relax it again now that it's welded. And that can make a big difference as well as how good the relax will work. If you do have a lot of broken seams and inverts all over the place, it kind of confuses it. So sometimes you can make it a little easier just by welding the stuff up first before you use relax. All right, so that looks good. So that's all the pieces. Let's just zoom out here. I'm gonna turn off the peel seams just by ticking that off so we can see a bit better. And let's rescale our pieces. So I'm just gonna move this out of the way and we'll hit the rescale elements button. Again, just make everything uniform. And again, if you don't have that, just use the scale tool and just go piece by piece. And there's no good way to stitch this back together, so I'm not even going to bother trying. I'm just going to kind of sort everything out so it makes kind of sense when we get to the texturing. All right, so I'm just going to start at the end, at the top, and I'm going to stick that right there, and then just grab the next piece, which would be this one, and let's maybe rotate this over 180. Right there, and then we have the 2 outside pieces. I'm just going to stick them on their corresponding sides. So right next to the blue edge, and then we have the inside of those holes. So let's grab both of them and just rotate them back so they're horizontal, and we'll just stick the corresponding one up here. That matches up, and this one down here. Okay, just be careful not to have them overlapping at all. I think we'll bake an AO for this later when we get to the texturing, and if we have overlapping UV islands, is going to cause us some weirdness. So Let's maybe stick these two arm pieces just above and below it. And let's grab these next couple ones here. All right, there's the arm. Let's get this piece here first. Just gonna stick that right there. Grab our two inside pieces again, rotate them, and just stack them on the corresponding sides. So there and there. Can move these down a bit, save some space. We have our next piece. I'm just going to stick that right like that for now, and then just put these ones maybe right here. And you can see the blue edges on this side, so I'm actually going to rotate this one over so it's facing in the right direction. And then we have the inside of the hole here, and let's just maybe park that right here for now. And this obviously isn't, an optimal layout. We're wasting a lot of space here. We could pack this stuff, really in there. But for now, I'm just going to leave it, and let's just grab everything, and let's move it. Let's move it down here and drop it. Okay, close up the relax tool, close up our window. Let's exit our rollout. And I'm just going to zoom in, Z, and just take a look. And that doesn't look too bad at all. So that's good. Let's try putting another iteration of Turbo Smooth on and see if we get any weirdness. Okay, so again, just one, no isoline display, and then just zoom in and take a quick look, see if you see anything weird. We do have the seams everywhere, but that's okay. For the most part, that's pretty good. So let's change our mesh color to blue. Exit isolation mode. Take a quick look. And I think that should be fine. So I think we'll move on to these four pieces right here. Next, let's definitely do a save though now that we have this complex one done. So save another copy.